This is the plaintiff, Charlotte Key. She says she hired the defendant, a DJ, to play music at an art festival in Brooklyn, New York. Paid him, and the guy blew her off. That's right. He didn't show up for the event, never even communicated with her. She's rip-roaring mad and wants her $398.99 returned and is suing for just that today. This is the defendant, Joseph Clark. He says he had a medical emergency, was rushed into surgery, and tried calling the plaintiff's associate to let her know there was a problem. He also called the plaintiff to tell her he was in the ER, and she showed zero compassion for him. Told him she was going to hire another DJ. He said he'd fulfill his contract at her next event, which was the very next weekend, but never heard from her. Bottom line, the plaintiff was the one who breached, and he owes her nothing. He's accused of letting the music die.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Ms. Key, acting as president of the Fulton Art Fair Incorporated, you are suing Joseph Clark and Groove Control Entertainment for $398.99 that you want him to return to you because, according to you, he breached a contract to DJ for an event. Tell me what happened.
What happened was we have our annual event, which is we're going into our 58th year on the fence. It's an outdoor art exhibit. We've been
58th year on the?
On the fence. It's called On the Fence because the artwork is hung on the park fence.
Oh.
All around the park.
Okay. Now, you were having an event, and what dates were those? Was that event going to take place?
Last year's event was June 13th, 14th, 20th, 21st, 27th, and 28th.
Okay. So it's every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, for 3 consecutive weekends?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that always the way it is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How does it, when it gets on the fence, I'm just curious, it gets on the fence each morning, right? It's like any other art fair where if there's a weather problem, it's just not going to happen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So were you president in the summer of last year?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
This is what caused all this confusion. Unfortunately, our president, Ms. Annette Brown, very well missed. She really pulled this organization together. I was the treasurer at the time.
Okay, so Ms. Brown is the one who actually reaches out to you, right?
Yes.
No.
And you had known Ms. Brown for how long?
For a good while. Actually, I was friends with her.
What's a good while? I don't know what that means.
Actually, about 2 years. I was real friends with her sister.
Okay.
And
so she reaches out to you. Had you ever DJ'd this event before?
yes, I did 2014.
All right. And how much were you paid in 2014?
Underpaid.
Well, how much were you paid? You have to answer my
700, I'm
actual
sorry, okay.
questions. Okay.
I believe it was 700 something.
Okay.
Yeah, $700.
And did you DJ for all
Yes.
3 weekends, 6 days?
All 3 weekends, and it went well.
Okay.
That's with the old president for 2014.
And wait, was that someone other than Annette Brown?
Yes, Annette Brown came aboard just this 2015.
Okay. So she reaches out to you or someone else reaches out to you?
No, Annette Brown reaches out to me.
And says, will you DJ this event?
Right. She said I was reluctant to do it because I told her last year you underpaid me for the hours of service.
What are the hours of service?
The hours of service from 12 to 7 on Saturday and from 12 to 6 on Sunday.
Okay.
So when Annette called me and she says, well, listen, you know what? Would you consider doing it? We'll get you $1,500. I said, that's still being a little underpaid, but I'll do it for the sake of our friendship.
Okay.
Okay, and then it was like, okay, you know what? Prior to the other president from last year, she either sabotaged the paperwork, because, of course, they get a grant. So the paperwork
So the grant didn't come in for the
paperwork
year that Annette asked you for?
Right, the paperwork didn't go in on time. This is what Annette is telling me. So
after or before you agreed to do it?
This is before.
Okay, so she tells you, listen, we don't have the money for you, but we'll have it when?
September.
Okay,
But
so
there
you
was
agree,
still-
stop. So you agree to do the event in the summer and June on the dates that she said, with the understanding that you would get paid all of it in September, or
No.
a part deposit now, which is the subject of this lawsuit, $350 then,
Right.
and then the rest of the $1,500 you would have to wait until September for.
Right.
Okay. All right, hold on.
Go ahead.
So now here comes the first dates of the show. And what happens?
What happened was June 13th was our first weekend of the event.
Okay.
Me and Ms. Brown tried to reach out to Mr. Clark that Friday,
Okay.
prior to the Saturday.
Okay.
We could not get any communication from him.
What does that mean? You left messages and he wouldn't return them?
I can't remember whether she left a message or she couldn't leave a message. But we reached out. I was with her like all that day. We tried at least about 2 or 3 times to call him with no response.
Okay. Now, there was already a plan that he would show up at a certain time and place with his equipment and everything else, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then what happens?
That evening, Joseph Clark reached out to me.
Oh, to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How did you have her number?
I believe we have been communicating from the last event.
Why is it, if you told me Annette was the one who hired you, why are you calling her?
Because when I called Annette, she wouldn't pick up the phone. I was in emergency.
Okay, what had happened to you?
What had happened to me, I went to see the doctor that Friday, prior to the event, and I had gangrene in my toe, and he told me, you have to go into emergency right away. He said, you got enough time to go home, get what you need to get, and you get back here. You have to go to emergency right away because it could easily spread. So I'm shocked. I'm trying to get my...
Are you diabetic?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was trying to get my normalcy. So what I did was, first of all, when you go into emergency, you know you have to wait till they get your room. Have the phone. I couldn't get a signal downstairs, so I had to wait until I got upstairs to the room. So I get up to the room finally. I called Annette a few times, and she didn't pick up. So finally, I called Charlotte. And I told them, I'm in emergency. I don't think I will be there tomorrow. Would you be able to get another DJ? And it's like, pause for a minute.
What ended up happening with you? Did they actually have to amputate the toe?
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that. So clearly you did not work that weekend.
No, I did not.
Did you let them know that night that that was going to happen?
You know, I wasn't really looking to receive no compassion about my situation.
Well, did you feel like you didn't receive compassion?
No, and you know the thing about it that if...
Not even from Annette?
Not even from Annette. Not even, especially from Charlotte.
They were probably panicking because they had the event the next day and they didn't know how to
I can understand that, but not even from Charlotte.
There should still be compassion.
Yeah, because she was in the hospital. She had surgery. I reached out to her. I said, this call is not about business. It's about friendship.
All right, let's talk about that weekend. Obviously, was shot, and did the fair take place?
Yes, ma'am.
But without a DJ.
Without a DJ.
So you say you can't do it that weekend. They can't find somebody else. How did it go? Not well, according to you. It was dead because there was no music.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, are supposed to play the next 2 days.
Right.
That are the next Saturday and Sunday.
The next weekend.
And what happens then? Let me ask you, Ms. Key, what happens then?
Me and Ms. Brown reached out to Mr. Clark during that week prior, asking him, was he going to be able to perform the second weekend?
And what did he say?
Okay, he assured us that he would.
Okay.
Okay, we let it go forward for him to show up for the second weekend. Mr. Brown did not show up for the second weekend. We still could not have any communication with him.
What does that mean, we didn't have communication with him?
We tried to call him. We could not, he would not answer no phones.
What happened the second weekend? Did you show up?
The second weekend, the Saturday, we proceeded to walk out of the door. It's drizzling rain. Saturday.
Drizzling means it's not raining much.
It's not raining much, but in the forecast, it was saying rain.
So you didn't show up?
No, I didn't show up.
Did you call them and tell them?
Corner.
Wait a minute. Did you call them to see if it was still on? Did you call them to tell them, listen, it's raining too much for me to, do you have a tent? Do you have some alternative arrangement?
When I called, I didn't get an answer. When I reached out to them, I did not get an answer. Okay, and mind you.
Stop talking 1 second. Now I'm going to read to you from your answer to the complaint. That Saturday morning, it was drizzling. We're not setting up equipment in the rain. I didn't think they were going to be going ahead with the fair that Saturday.
Right.
And I will take fault for not reaching out to them. I waited to hear from them.
Right.
What do you mean, right? That is the opposite of what you just said in my courtroom under oath. You just said, I called and I couldn't get through because you know that this is critical.
Right.
This is critical.
It is.
Yeah, you just blowing them off is a problem. Because now there's a second time where you're being, the first time you have a great excuse, obviously, you have a medical reason, and they're still willing to, they're willing to, okay, no problem, we're still, let's go forward on the other 2 weekends. They're willing to, but then you don't call and choose not to show up without calling the employer and telling them, listen, there's a problem. If we're not under tent, if we're not under roof, I don't want to set up my equipment. I don't want it to get wet, whatever. Say something.
Right.
You do not call them. That's what you've always said. You just changed your testimony for the first time in here saying I couldn't reach him. Did you get a call from them? Did you get a call from him?
No, ma'am.
Do you ever hear from him? And if so, when do you finally hear from him?
Me and Miss Brown heard from him after the second weekend.
Yeah, when? I'm asking you when.
I'm not sure. I don't know if that Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, so it was completely after that weekend was over, according
Yes,
to
ma'am.
you, is
Yes,
the first
ma'am.
time you hear from him.
After the
And what
weekend of
happened?
21st. Miss Brown had us on a conference call. We spoke to him about it. He wanted to work the last weekend to make up for the first 2 weekends that he had missed. We told him that was not acceptable. We had talked over with our board members, and we said we could not rely on him. He had messed up the last 2 weekends. We had went out and hired another DJ for that
Did
final
another
weekend.
DJ come and play the last weekend?
We did hire another DJ for the last weekend. He was not able to play because, unfortunately, yes, we were rained out this year.
Now, this is about the $350.
Yes, ma'am.
And right after that third weekend, there is discussion, I presume, between you and him or Annette and him,
The
about
second
him
weekend.
returning the $350.
After the second weekend.
After the second weekend.
When we couldn't
and
get
does
in touch
he?
with him.
When does he agree? I know there's an email. Do you have that with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see the date of that email where he says, "I will return the money." All right. So here's the date: Friday, June 26th. That is that when the third weekend was what?
The 27th, 28th.
Right, so it is before the third weekend. There is an email from you to Annette saying, subject, reimbursement. Just want to, in capital letters, reassure you that I will meet with you on Saturday, July 11th to give you a refund of $175 and the balance of $175 Friday, July 31st, if I am able to give you the balance sooner, in capital letters, by all means, in capital letters, I will do so. Again, I humbly, in capital letters, apologize, in capital letters, for my unintentional, in capital letters, regard for this matter. All the best to you and your future. Did you send that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. If it was good enough for you then, why should I look at things differently now?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here in front of the TMZ Hollywood tour bus, by the way. So here's the question. The guy had gangrene, had to go into the hospital for emergency surgery. Is that an excuse? I'm going in the back. Is that an excuse for not performing under the contract?
I think if he can prove that he had that, that's an excuse to not do it.
So there's a gangrene exception to a contract. Is that what it is?
Sure, like medicals, things like that.
But it doesn't say anything about that in the contract.
Then he probably should have made sure that was in the contract before he. Yeah, you're right.
So there's no gangrene exception?
Yeah, forget it.
Okay, so I brought you around, going inside the courtroom.
The rain dates on the contract are indicated to them.
I don't know what you're talking about. All your contract says is rain dates to, let me use the
available
exact-
upon request.
Yeah, rain date made upon request.
Right.
Yeah, but you decided it was going to be rained out at a certain point in time and that just didn't show up.
Man, listen.
You didn't show up. You couldn't be reached. You didn't call out. You didn't do anything.
I did call out.
No, you didn't.
I did call out.
No, you didn't. It's right there in black and white in your statement the whole time. And if you had, why would you send an email on June 26th saying, I am so sorry for my unintentional behavior. I humbly apologize. Why would all that have been there? You know what? You have no answer because there is no good answer. If it was good enough for you then, the only thing that changed is that you decided you didn't want to return the $350. $350. Why are you suing for $48.99 additional today?
Because, ma'am, in order for us to hire the last DJ for the last weekend, we had to spend $48.99. Okay, we'll take the loss.
Yeah, because I'm putting you in a situation where you understand that's part of your deal with another DJ.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
putting you in the situation you want to be in, which is you didn't do the job, so I want all our money back. You don't get the $48.99, but you do get the $350 plus, of course, your court costs in coming to court to try to get that $350 verdict for the plaintiffs.
Thank you so much.
Here comes the defendant. This is the DJ right here. Step on up here. What about how you handled this job?
I thought fairly well. I mean, a lot that what needed to be said wasn't, in which case it is what it is.
What needed to be said that wasn't said? You didn't give the money back. You didn't get in touch with them. You don't go up there. Back here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's go. Yeah.
I did get in touch with them.
Yep.
I did get in touch with them.
You do a lot of DJing?
Yeah.
Let's hear that
45
DJ voice.
years.
Go ahead. DJ voice. Here it is. Go ahead.
That DJ voice.
That it?
That's it.
All right, that's good. All right, head right down this way. Okay, take your time now. How you doing? How you doing? All right, so what's your feeling on this outcome here?
Me and the Fulton Affair are very happy with the outcome. He was very unreliable and very unprofessional. Lack of communication was the biggest part. And yes, we were very empathetic toward his medical emergency, because myself and Ms. Brown, who passed, were going through medical issues ourselves. So yes, we were sympathetic to his cause.
Right, you're going to have this event again in the coming year?
We are our 58th year, Fulton Affair Inc.
58?
A 58th year on the fence.
Who's going to be your DJ this year?
It won't be Joseph Clark.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, it is pretty simple. If you have a contract with somebody, a personal emergency, even if it's understandable, is not justification under the law for not performing under the deal.
This is the plaintiff, Amina Gladden. She says she gave the defendant a deposit to DJ her wedding, but things got crazy with her and her fiancé, and she called the wedding off 5 months before they were supposed to get married. His contract doesn't say no refunds anywhere on it. She gave him 5 months' notice. She deserves her money back and is suing for her $500 deposit. This is the defendant, Robert Wallace. He says he scouted the wedding location for the defendant, hired and paid a sound guy, and then she called to tell him her fiancé was arrested and called the wedding off. He turned down other events on the plaintiff's wedding day and owes her nothing. Furthermore, she showed up at his house uninvited, and if you ask him, he thinks she has a crush on him. He's accused of letting the music die. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $500. The balance on the contract.
All parties, please use your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Amina Gladden?
Yes.
You are suing Robert Wallace, doing business as DJ Rob?
Yes.
Did I say it right? For try to put some attitude in. For $500, the amount of a deposit that you placed on a wedding date for him, and the wedding is a no-go?
Yes.
All right, what happened?
Me and my fiance had got into a verbal argument, and the cops got called, and it just got kind of crazy.
Did anybody get arrested?
Yes, my fiance did get arrested, and I called DJ Rob the same day and let him know what was going on.
How long previously had you booked him?
I believe it was a month before.
Did you
maybe.
sign anything?
I did.
May I see what you signed?
Thank you.
Are there any additional terms and conditions? It says on the bottom.
There should be 2 pages.
Oh, where's the second page?
He never gave me a second
All
page.
right, let's
That
see the
was it.
second page. Let me make a suggestion to you, especially when you have space down here. Never put this on a second page that's not signed also. Because watch this. Did you ever get this? It says
He
that the
never gave
deposit's
it to me.
non-refundable. So for your own protection, either have them initial it or sign it.
It says on the contract, the signature in the front.
No,
is
I
responsible
see
for
it.
both pages.
I
So-
see it. I see
Yeah.
it. I got it.
But you understand
But
what's
I'm
going
just
on?
saying, as a lawyer, I'm
Okay.
giving you some free advice.
Okay.
Free advice, no charge at all.
Yeah.
You never want a page of the contract to not have either signatures or
Okay.
initials. That's why when contracts are prepared by lawyers, there's a space for everybody's initials on every single page, so someone doesn't say that page wasn't
Right,
in
right,
there,
gotcha.
like it's
Yeah.
happening right here.
Thank you.
So let's talk, Ms. Gladden. I'm very sorry that the plans. You're not getting married, right? Like that.
No.
Yeah. And have you broken up with him?
No, we have a child in common. So
Okay. Well, that doesn't mean you have to stay with him forever,
no,
especially if he beat you.
No, he didn't beat me up or
Oh,
anything
what did he
like
get arrested
that.
for?
He had a warrant out that he had a court
Why did the police get called to your home?
because he jumped up in my face and was acting like irrational.
And what was the warrant for?
I'm not really sure.
Domestic violence?
No, it wasn't for
Okay.
domestic violence.
All right. Well, here's the thing, though. You provided a $500 deposit, and now you want the $500 deposit back.
I didn't want the whole, even if he didn't give me the whole $500, I just wanted something back because he didn't provide any services to
Is that
me.
his fault?
No, it's not his
Okay,
fault.
so January 14, you pay the $500, and what is the day that you cancel?
February 17th.
Okay, so let me hear from you.
She called me up. She said she needed a DJ, how much would our cost for her date. And I told her I would have to come look at the location because if I have to get a sound system, because I play professional, I would have to come see it, take pictures, and measure the room. And at the same time, we'll sign the agreement. I came there, took pictures of the place. We signed the agreement. She would call me like every other day. And I'm a spiritual person. Like, I believe in God. And she would tell me her problems. I'm going through this with him. And I would talk with her. And I would encourage her to, try to work it out with the dude. She said he did be violent with her before. And he had a domestic warrant and he drinks. And I would take her phone call all the time, like almost every day.
What's all the time? Every single day in a month that you knew each other?
She'll call me out the week maybe 3 or 4 times. So I feel like, I'm a child of God, so I help people. Not just her, everybody, kids, bums, it doesn't matter. That's just me. So I'll pick up the phone. I won't neglect her. To the time that when the incident happened in her home, she called me from the district attorney's office. You won't believe where I'm at? And I talked to her. Like, well, let me know everything is going to be all right. If you feel like, he's going to put his hands on you, then, don't be with him because he'll hurt you, kill you. And to the time the police drove her home in the morning, she called me and then, we talked some more, and then she recorded at my studio, and yeah, it was crazy.
She recorded at your studio?
Yeah, I have a recording studio. So these were just things she was doing in between the time. But after that, she called like 3 days later and said, when can she pick up a deposit? So I said, I can't give you a deposit back. I could do something a little more sexier for you. Like I won't charge you a rebooking fee. I
can do something a little more what? Sexy for you?
Sorry.
That came out wrong.
Sorry. That
or
means
maybe
cool.
not.
I'm sorry. That's my slang, but that means a little bit more. That means a little bit more cooler for you.
Is that something I never heard?
I said I won't charge you a rebooking fee, but I can't give you the deposit back. I will have to go through too much stuff because I set my sound guy straight. And she said, "Well, I didn't pay for a sound guy. That had nothing to do with you. I contract my sound guy. So I made things, made arrangements for your date to be perfect. On top of that, I got a booking like 3 days later after we did a deposit that was neglected in North Carolina. I'll show you the booking offer. Like I get dates all the time. Like what I'm saying?
Can I see the booking offer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a local DJ. I'm a celebrity DJ. I played with 50 Cent. I play around the world. So
okay.
Yeah, no lie. So I have to get a sound system. I just don't bring out like equipment and that like that. So those are things that I do.
Did you think she was sweet on you or something, calling you every day and telling you her problems? And
I think so. She came to my house. My mom was like, this girl said you robbed her for her money. And she know that ain't my behavior, like to take no money from nobody. Like, so she's like, who's this girl?
Wait. Yeah, hold on. Did you go to his mother's house?
No, what happened was that before things got crazy with me and my fiance, I did go to his studio. And I like to sing. I went, recorded or whatever. That was that. I never called him every day because I have a fiance that I was supposed to be marrying. So to be calling him every day, that sounds ridiculous.
Ms. Glennon, tell me this, though. Why do you think that he should return? If he met with you, he wasted time. He went to the venue. He figured out what he needed. And he says he rejected another contract, but even if he didn't, this is prime wedding time, right? It was June, right? Why do you feel that he has to return the deposit when you're the one breaching the contract? I hear what you're saying. That might be the best decision you've ever made. But sometimes our good decisions cost us, not somebody who didn't get themselves in that mess to begin with.
I understand that.
So why do you think the man has to return your money?
Because not only was he rude and nasty, he sent me texts that I'm not going to win if I take him to court. He sent me pictures of him holding money. You understand?
Show me the text he sent you. Show me the text Child of God sent you.
And his mother,
Hold on.
His mother called him and told him, somebody is in front of the building asking for you.
And?
And he started cursing his mother out, telling his mother, mind your business and all kind of stuff. Because his mother was standing right there in front of me with the phone.
On a telephone or?
And it was on speaker.
Okay. Oh, his mother put on speaker so you could hear her son?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you mean he answered your text when you laid out a bunch of money and sent it to him saying, what you took from me, I got back double, I'm blessed?
No, he sent
Well, that's
me
what
a
I'm looking at
text
right here.
saying
And then
his
he sent you a
PayPal.
response text. This is what 50K looks like, but nothing without goodness in your heart. You have evil and wicked ways you must change. And that's after lots of time of back and forth, give me my money,
He
give me
has
my money, and
sent
he
a
couldn't have been
PayPal.
nicer. But tell me, I'm sorry, so you thought it was rude to send the money picture, but you sent it first, right?
No, he sent me a
I'm
PayPal.
sorry, what's that?
If you
That's
can
you.
see, can you see the PayPal information of his account?
Okay, did you take a picture of a bunch of money and say
I
this?
did.
I okay.
did.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, does she get her money back? What do you say?
Why not? Yeah.
Well, why not? Yeah, because there's a contract that says no refund. How about that?
But she didn't sign it.
That's a true statement. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. She never signed it.
Well, let's say there was nothing that said no refunds or refunds. If she put the money down and she cancels, does she get her money back?
Yes, she does. She gave 5 months' notice, which is reasonable.
She didn't get 5 months. She kind of got dumped.
Well, but she gave the
I mean,
DJ
you got to
5
look at it that
months.
way too, right? Going inside the courtroom.
First of all, for a professional, you did engage back and forth a little too much. You were polite. What she said I'd find, I didn't. But you can't. You just got to say, look, do what you got to do and block the number at some point, after you've made efforts. But you need to understand what the law says. You feel like, hey, he didn't even have to DJ. Why doesn't he give me back my money? Because you want your money. I know you want it, okay? But there are consequences to entering into contracts, okay? Contracts have consequences. That's how it works. You sign, and whether you provide that second page that page 1 says is coming, or you don't provide me with the second page, I don't care. Because I don't care. I don't care. Let's pretend that the contract doesn't say, and by the way, it should say it on page 1, right above this. But
maybe you
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Now you know what? We're gonna do your way. He never told you it was non-refundable. Now what do we have? What we have is something called a contract. So the default position is that it's non-refundable. Why would you ever think you could hold a guy for a month, have him turn down other gigs, and that you could come out smelling like a rose when you cancel? No. Verdict in this case is for the defendant. Oh, you got a counterclaim. Oh, you couldn't leave well enough alone. Now he counterclaimed you for the other 500. Go ahead, I'm listening.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, right?
I don't need the counterclaim.
You're the bomb.
She's
You are a
blessed.
child
I just
of
wanted
God.
her to know
All
how to
right.
write.
Because you know what? I got to tell you. All right. So you're withdrawing the counterclaim in your show of good faith.
That's it.
Bless you. Adios.
Can I please have my phone and my information? Thank you.
So the plaintiff loses her lawsuit. The defendant prevails in this case. You understand what the judge said to you?
No, I don't. But, I mean, it's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah,
Well, it can't be okay. You went to the trouble to file a lawsuit in
I
court.
mean, it's $500. It's, it's something that could be replaced. I'm going to get more anyway. God is good.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you feel that way. All right. Thank you very much. You must sign some documents. Celebrity DJ.
Robbie Rob.
Robbie Rob.
Robbie Rob. At Skycast Raps. What's
All
up,
right.
man?
So, nothing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And you gave up your lawsuit, your countersuit. That's
Man,
okay?
She needs the money, man. She can have it. It's fine.
You know, a lot of people might be wondering, God, you could have gotten another gig.
Yeah, I
Time,
did. I
right?
had another booking offer. I lost it.
I mean, you could have gotten more. I mean,
Yeah,
if
I could've.
you're that hot a
But
DJ, you got offers coming in all the time.
I had neglected dates for her because she applied for my date, and that's the only reason. I can't double book. It's not fair. That puts me wrong. So.
Well, look, you prevailed. The judge says you're right.
Yeah.
You learned something about what to do with your contracts?
Oh yeah, everything on one
Got
page
some
now.
free advice.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Congratulations.
All right,
Thank you very much.
All right, see ya.
Okay.
I gotta take my picture with you, man. Hold up, man.
Harvey?
Okay, these guys get it. I mean, when you have a multi-page contract, you got to make sure that everybody involved either signs or initials on every single page.
This is the plaintiff, Dawn Malish. She says she hired the defendant, a DJ, to perform at her daughter's bat mitzvah. But when the state of Connecticut shut down due to the pandemic, the party had to be canceled. When she asked the defendant for her money back, he told her he didn't have it. Didn't have it? How's that her problem? She's suing for $2,493, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Mike. He says he's been a DJ for 34 years and was willing to give the plaintiff a credit for his services, but she keeps demanding the money back. He doesn't feel he owes her a refund because she canceled her party and he's ready, willing, and able to perform. He's accused of letting the music die.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff gave the defendant, a DJ, money, a deposit for services. The DJ event didn't happen. She wants her deposit back. But the defendant says he doesn't owe her anything because she up and canceled on him for no reason. It's the case of the day the music died.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Malish, you and your husband, you are appearing on behalf of both of you, are suing Mr. Mike for $2,493. The amount that you have put down for DJ services and, well, it's more than DJ services. It's pump up the party services, a photo booth, a bunch of other stuff for your daughter's bat mitzvah, which then didn't happen. Talk to me and tell me the millionth tale of woe that COVID has wreaked on humanity. Go ahead.
Yes, COVID took away our daughter's bat mitzvah. We booked our DJ services for a DJ and a photo booth with Mike. We booked it on July 2019, where I gave him a $750 deposit. Then on March 11th, 3 weeks prior to our bat mitzvah, our daughter's bat mitzvah, on March 11th, we met with him and I handed him the balance of the check.
And what was the day the party was supposed to be?
April 4th, 2020.
Okay.
We met with him 3 weeks prior and we discussed the events, how it would happen.
So it's March 11th. When did the country shut down? Like March 15th, 16th?
Our governor closed he came out with an executive order on March 13th. And it would be till at least April 30th. So we rescheduled it to May 31st.
How'd your daughter take that?
She was sad.
Yeah.
It was kind of emotional. She spent many years practicing leading up to this. I spent a lot of money leading up to this event. You get a date. We got our date on May of 2017 is when we received the date for her bat mitzvah. So this is years of planning.
I know. And so now you decide you're going to postpone it to the end of May because hopefully this nuisance will be over with by the end of May 2020.
Right. We were hoping that it would be over in May 2020. Our governor said at least until April 30th.
Okay. So then what happens?
So we rescheduled it to May 31st, which meant all of our family had to change their plans, their flights. We had people coming in from California. We had people coming in from Vegas. We had people coming in from Louisiana. And there were tons of travel restrictions at that point in time. So we had them do that. And then on May 31st, our governor had an executive order, 7TT is the executive order, that as of June 1st, we can have 25 people outside. They must stay 6 feet apart.
And no dancing? Is that the one where he said?
And no dancing, no contact.
I love the governors who say, and no dancing, because I want to know, like, if the spirit moves me and I can't help it, is someone going to do something to me? Like, if I just, sometimes I just can't help it. Like, I get it. I understand. No dance floors, nothing to try to attract people to be moshing. I understand it. But by the way, that's the day after your scheduled day of your bat mitzvah. Before that, which is the one that was in effect?
No, nothing was allowed to happen. Our state was not open yet.
All right. Talk to me, Mr. Mike. Tell me your thoughts on
Your
this. It's not my fault. Wait, I'll do it. It's not my fault, Judge. I didn't cause a pandemic. My business suffered. This is a terrible place to be when you're, a service provider, a venue, a party party planner, a DJ, a band, a caterer, because you guys got slaughtered. So talk to me.
Your Honor, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for taking my time. This case, the wedding and special events industry was decimated, of course. The bottom line that I have here today is that Dawn wants a contract to be one way. Now, the key thing here is I gave her 100% credit of all the funds for her and Mr. Malish to use at any time without expiration. The state of Connecticut was shut down, but we were actually working as of July 4th. I had weddings and bar and bat mitzvahs the entire summer. We had to displace over 100 of our clients and move them. But the thing is, the clients moved. Now, according to my contract, I don't have to do this. Our contract states very simply that if you cancel on us 30 days prior to the event, 100% of the funds are due to our company. I didn't ask for the termination fee. I didn't ask for the penalty clauses. I told Mrs. Malish, I will give you a 100% credit that you can use anytime. She could have used that credit over the summer. The governor did not shut the state down completely. She could have had up to 100.
When exactly did the governor allow me to dance? That's what I'd like to know. Do you know?
Well, there was no moratorium on dancing.
Well, if you have to be 6 feet apart and there can't be a dance floor, you know, kind of is, but go ahead.
It is ridiculous.
Okay,
but
how many people were supposed to be at this party?
80 to 100.
Now, what did you end up doing, Ms. Malish?
On April 4th, we had 10 people in our backyard. She had a lovely service. We spaced everybody out 10 feet apart.
Then the party was supposed to be at the end of May. Did you just decide we're not doing it?
We canceled it because a lot of the states still had travel restrictions at that point in time.
Are you going to do a party at all? Or did you decide the time?
She's 15 now.
So
at
no point did you decide you wanted to do a party. I'm a big believer in taking back what life takes away from you. I'm one of the organizers of a prom a year into college because I had two 2020 kids, a college graduate and a high school graduate that didn't graduate. Well, they graduated, but the idea that I would get ripped off of this double graduation month that was supposed, I just couldn't stand it. So like I'm with those customers of yours that said, I'll be darned if you're going to take away my kid's party or my kid's prom or what. But that's because I was able, with the aid of some amazing people, including my kid's high school, was very cooperative. They ended up having a graduation the next year. And a parent ended up doing a faux prom. It was awesome because these kids were already in college. They didn't have to follow any rules. They were, we're going to gloss over that part. And I got to be at the prom. It was at my friend's house. It was amazing. So I'm the kind of person who says, we're going to do this and we're going to do this later. But that has nothing to do with the law. You have a contract and the contract says certain things. But the contract, okay, when it says the deposit's non-refundable, is intended for those circumstances when she changes her mind and says, we've decided we're not doing a bar mitzvah for no reason, like, whatever. Or we've decided we want to hire a different DJ. We don't like you anymore. There are penalties in place for that. There are deposits that are non-refundable, and there are consequences for that. The problem that you have in this particular case, and the problem that your industry has in these lawsuits, is that there is an impossibility of performance. That is the legal premise that is controlling the interpretation of who gives who money back or whether any money has to go back. You can't perform at what you were hired to perform at because the venue won't have the party. She can't have the party. Well, the idea was that on April 4th, you would play at a certain venue. You would be there and there would be 100 people and there would be a certain party. Through no fault of hers or yours, that can't happen. It is a global pandemic that stops each of you of being able to carry out the contract. So you don't want to be punished, but you want me to punish her as though she had just changed her mind. And what it really does is it puts everybody in the position you were in before the contract. And it says, okay, this contract cannot be performed. Everybody pick up your marbles and go home. And she's right. And because of that, I'm sorry. And I know that your industry has taken an awful hit, and I feel for you. It's sad, but it's the way the cookie's going to crumble in this and so many of these COVID cases. My verdict in this case is for the plaintiff. Good luck to all of you.
Well, the judge has just given a very clear explanation on why the defendant, Mike, has to give the money back to the plaintiff. Mike, you heard the judge. What do you think?
Well, of course, I don't agree with it. And I also would have to say that if a pandemic negates all contracts, it can't be universal to the special events industry, meaning all contracts would be null and void if the original client wanted to break them. I mean, a contract should not be a one-way document that only serves one party when they feel wronged or they feel that they want to walk away from that contract. It was straight, it was forward, but apparently the pandemic overrules that.
Ms. Malish, I'm sure you feel better about it than he does. How do you feel?
Oh, we're very happy. Justice was served today. He was the only one who did not refund our money. My daughter was really sad and disappointed that we weren't able to have what she planned for.
All right, Harvey, another example of how the pandemic has, invaded so many things that have gone on here in this country. What do you think about this?
So, Doug, really at the heart of this is COVID. I mean, we have been talking about this for a while now, but the courts are still trying to work out when, if at all, COVID becomes an act of God, allowing people to end a contract and then put them back in the position they were in before they signed that deal. So the courts are split on all of this, and I don't think you're going to be able to find a lot of consistency until things work themselves out in chambers or in the actual courtroom.
Marilyn, what's the one song that always gets you pumped up or cheers you up?
Oh, there's so many. There's classically it's American Pie.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
I have to sing the entire 8 minutes whenever it comes up, much to the chagrin of my children in the car.
If we reveal this stuff, we're going to reveal ourselves as old.
As old, right?
These are older
Thunder
songs.
Road is a big one.
Bruce Springsteen.
Thunder Road just makes me go.
Those are big ones for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say a song that gets me pumped up, like if I'm going to go work out or something. Ball and Chain by Social Distortion. Probably wasn't on your list.
No, how's that go?
Right at the top. I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to sing it.